Hello, I'm Sasha. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Changemaker products from Bite Beauty and the new Velvet Matte Lip Crayon. Bite Beauty is well known for certain products such as their Agave lip mask. I'm really excited because they have now expanded into clean foundations as well. Today I have the foundation and powder to try out with you. They also completely revamped their lip line so it's completely vegan. I'm so excited about this and picked up one of their new Velvet Matte Lip Crayons. Bite Beauty's Changemaker line includes a primer. I really wanted to try it out, but unfortunately it has a lot of silicones in it and I tend to react to those. So today I'm going to be moving straight on to foundation. To get started, I already have moisturizer on my face and I've done my eyes, but I'm not wearing any foundation. So I'm going to start with the Changemaker Supercharged Micellar Foundation. I got the shade L15, which is fair light with neutral undertones. They actually did a color match with this for me at Sephora, so I'm pretty sure that this shade is going to work. So I've just got a little bit on my hand. I'm just going to sort of dot it on my face. I'm going to start by rubbing it in with my fingers. They say this has micellar technology, which is supposed to mimic your skin. I was really excited to see that these were available at Sephora and come in 32 shades. That's a pretty impressive shade range, especially for a company just starting out in foundation. I've noticed that a lot of clean foundations don't have that kind of shade range, so kudos to Bite Beauty for actually taking the time and effort to make sure that they have 32 shades. This seems to be going on pretty nicely. It feels a bit silky, but it's not like overly silicone-y, if you know what I mean. I can feel it sort of starting to dry down into my skin. The texture is really nice. It feels kind of like a moisturizer, so it's pretty hydrating. I'm going to go in with a little of this Korres Rose Hydrating Spray. I'm just going to spray it on my EcoTools sponge here and then pat that into the foundation. I want to make sure it looks as good as possible. This seems to be a pretty good match for me. On camera it seems to look a little bit cool, but in person it does have a fair bit of warmth to it. I'd almost say it might lean towards a slightly peachy undertone. It says neutral, but it does seem to have a fair amount of that sort of peach warmth in it, which I really like. I feel like it's blending well into my skin. It doesn't seem to be sticking to dry patches or anything too much. Just kind of has a fresh, natural feel. They call this a buildable medium coverage. Ordinarily I would just keep this how it is, but I'm just going to apply a little more in some areas that are a little red just to see how it builds. Definitely does seem to build up nicely. I like this because it's a little lighter than something like a cream concealer, but you can still use layers, especially if you have some light blemishes or something that you'd rather cover that day. Before I go in with the powder, I wanted to do my blush, bronzer, and highlighter. In particular, I wanted to see how this foundation performs both under cream and powder formulas. So today I've got the Honest Beauty Cream Cheek Blush in Peony Pink. I'm just going to pat a little bit of that onto my cheeks. This is a really pretty sort of peachy pink color. Just kind of adds life to your face. This seems to be blending really nicely in with the foundation. It really does almost feel like it's my skin. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of layers that I'm actually working this into. Now that I've applied the blush, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the powder. This is the Changemaker Flexible Coverage Pressed Powder in Light 1. On the package, they recommend buffing this in with a brush. They also included this little puff, so you can use that on the go. You don't have to carry a brush with you, which is really nice. One thing I love about this powder is that it's talc-free. It's made from volcanic minerals and it's supposed to help blur and mattify. Oh wow, when I use this brush in it, I don't know if you can see, but there's quite a bit of kick up on that. It seems to be absorbing well. It doesn't look overly powdery, which is great. One thing that's great about this is it seems to have a fair amount of pigment in it, so it doesn't seem like something that you'd have to wear over foundation. You could probably just wear it on its own if you wanted a lighter makeup day. Originally, when I was in the store, I was going to get the shade Light 2, but the employee recommended that I get Light 1. He said that typically after it mixes with the oils in your skin, it might darken a little bit, so he recommended, if you're on the fence, to go with a lighter shade. So even though I'm L15 in the foundation, he recommended going with L1 in the powder. I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera, but I feel like this really helped to sort of mattify and make it less shiny. I think it's really going to help set the foundation to give it some more lasting power too. Now that I've got the powder on, I want to see how well it layers under some of my other products. For a highlighter, I'm going to be using the Honest Beauty Luminizing Glow Powder in Midnight Reflection. This is just kind of a really soft, natural looking highlighter. It's not a blinding highlight, it's just a really great kind of natural sheen. It seemed to go on really smoothly there. For a highlighter, I'm going to be using TheBalm Take Home Bronze Anti-Orange Bronzer in Oliver. It's just a nice light bronzer. Like the Bite Beauty powder, this bronzer is also talc-free, which is really awesome. It seems to be blending well with the powder. I'm not having any issues with that. Just gonna take a little bit down my neck again to make sure everything works well together. Now that I've got the highlighter, blush, and bronzer on there, I feel like everything worked well together. There's no like oiliness or shininess. Everything just kind of sinks into the skin and feels very natural. I'm just gonna apply a little bit more of this Korres H2 Rose Hydrating Face Mist. Whenever I use a foundation and put powder on top, I love to use a hydrating spray. I feel like it just blends all the products together and makes it look even more natural. To finish off this look, I'm going to test out this Bite Beauty Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayon. This is the shade Sugarcane, and it's a nice sort of soft rose shade. I love how they completely revamped their lip shades to be vegan. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw this. This one seems pretty close to my lip color. It has kind of a soft, more natural taste. It's not very strong or anything. I almost say I can sense the orange a little bit. In person, this is a really pretty color. It's kind of like a dusty, more powdery pink on me. It's definitely true to the name of being creamy. It is matte, but it has a bit of a sheen to it, which I think is really pretty. If you aren't familiar with Bite Beauty, one thing that's really cool about their brand is they have very highly pigmented colors. In the store in particular, they had some really beautiful reds that were very bright and bold. So if you are interested in clean beauty, but you haven't seen the kind of color payoff you're looking for, I highly recommend checking out Bite Beauty, especially for their lip colors. Just for a quick review, I really did enjoy this foundation. It feels very light and weightless on the skin, but it still has a nice level of that sort of medium buildable coverage. I love that it comes in 32 shades. This one is a great match for my skin, and it's neutral with kind of a hint of peach. One thing that's great about this line is that they are available at many Sephora stores, so you can get someone to help you shade match, and if you ask, they'll usually give you a sample as well. I really did enjoy the powder as well. I think it's fantastic that Sephora has this talc-free option for a foundation powder. It layers really well with their foundation, but I think you could also use it on its own, especially for those lighter makeup days. This seemed to work especially well as sort of a mattifying powder, and just be sure that if you are on the edge, lean towards a lighter shade because it'll probably darken up just a little bit as it mixes with the oils in your skin. Last but not least is this matte lip crayon in the shade Sugarcane. I do really like the way that this looks, and I think this is something that I'll be adding to my regular rotation. I like that it's natural, but it doesn't have like a weird taste or anything. I think lipstick is a fantastic place to look for clean beauty because women tend to absorb a lot of that, like you end up eating and you actually eat your lipstick. If you look up the stats for it, it's kind of frightening how much lipstick women can eat. So if you're looking for a place to start in clean beauty, I definitely recommend starting with lip products. I would love to try more of these shades. At $24, they're a little bit expensive, but Sephora has a sale a couple times a year, so I think I'll definitely be looking forward to that. I'd love to hear what you look for in a foundation and what your current favorite is. I'll be doing a wear test with this foundation, so I'll post a little clip of that next. I'm about to begin my wear test. It's about 12:50 p.m. and I want to try and wear it for at least 6 to 8 hours. It's a different day than when I filmed the tutorial, but I tried to recreate the exact same look. So things are looking pretty good right now. I just applied the makeup. It's looking pretty fresh and hydrated. Because it's the winter, I have a couple little dry patches that I kind of want to watch out for, but so far so good. I'll probably be using a little setting spray throughout the day, but otherwise I'll try not to touch it too much. So I'm just going to go about my day and I'll check back in with you tonight. Okay, now it's 9 p.m. and I've been wearing this for about 8 hours. I took off the lipstick a long time ago and I haven't put any of that back on. I did use some face mist throughout the day to kind of keep things fresh. You can see there's a little bit of dryness on my forehead and other spots around my face that normally get dry. This is very normal for me with even the high-performing liquid foundations. I think if I were to use something like a primer or apply lotion throughout the day, I might be able to keep it more fresh. But overall, I think this has held up better than a lot of foundations. I can still see a bit of coverage and it seemed to fade away pretty evenly in any place that wasn't dry. So I hope this helps you get a bit of an idea about how it might wear throughout the day. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a like or consider subscribing. I post new videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Central and I'd love to see you there. Thanks again for watching and have a wonderful day.